Hiring the wrong person can cost you money, time, and a lot of frustration. And after hiring over 1,500 people over the last few years, I've noticed 5 red flags that you should know before hiring anyone. Each one of these red flags shows up at a different stage during the hiring process. So pay close attention to each one of these, because you probably have already made these mistakes, or you're bound to make these mistakes if you are not paying attention to one of these red flags. So let's dive into these 5 red flags, go over one by one, and how you can, number one, become aware of each of these, but also be able to avoid them whenever you're hiring A players. Red flag number 1, inconsistent resumes. An inconsistent resume is whenever you're opening up the resume and you are seeing a person jump from job to job to job over a short period of time. If anybody has more than 2 jobs within a course of a year, that is a red flag. I personally don't even like when they have 2 in 1 year, because it tells me that something happened, whether it was on them or whether it was on the company. Now, of course, whenever that's the case, I immediately call that out. I'll give you guys an example. I interviewed a gentleman a few months ago, and he had 3 different opportunities over the course of about 14 to 15 months. And whenever I brought this up, he told me that it was on the company. He made it seem like it was 100% their fault. He was like the perfect person. There was nothing that he did wrong. It was 100% on them. And here's the thing. That might happen once, but for that to happen 2 times is unlucky. And for that to happen 3 times is incredibly unlikely. Okay? I don't mind someone not working out with a company. It happens. It has happened to me. I got fired from a job 10 years ago when I was selling cars because I wasn't very good at it, nor was I taking it serious. Does that mean that I'm not qualified for any job ever again? No. It just means that that opportunity wasn't right for me, and I probably need to find something that I have more passion or that I would like to sell for, instead of selling something that I have 0 passion towards. If you see someone with an inconsistent resume, you absolutely need to call them out, and you need to make sure that whatever answers they're giving you, they're also taking blame, because sometimes nobody's perfect. And by sometimes, I mean a lot of times. Yes, could they have worked for a company that maybe oversold themselves? Possibly. Maybe they worked for a company that wasn't doing very good financially. Maybe they worked for the company that didn't offer them commissions or bonuses. Sure. But if you are bouncing from job to job to job, that is a major red flag. And another part to this is, if you're a real estate investor and you're hiring specifically someone with real estate experience and they don't have that, that is a red flag. Now, they might have everything else, and if you don't want to train them on a specific niche, then they probably need to have that type of experience. So for instance, if I'm in the recruiting HR world and I want to hire someone that is a recruiter, but they've never been a recruiter, probably not going to hire that person, right? And the flip side, they have recruiting experience and maybe they've been a recruiter a couple times. Well, that gives me exactly what I'm looking for. So the 2 things you want to watch out for when it comes to inconsistent resume is, number 1, someone that's bouncing from job to job to job, which must be addressed by you, whoever's interviewing them. And number 2, the relevant experience you're looking for. Sometimes people don't want any experience and they just want someone that's hungry, passionate, is going to show up and crush it. Other times, they don't have time to train the person and they need someone that can come in and make a difference from day 1. Pick your poison. Red flag number 2, tardiness. Now guys, I live in Colombia. I've been here for the last 5 years. We're mostly hiring Latinos, whether they're in Colombia or Mexico and Argentina. I have gotten accustomed, unfortunately, to tardiness when it comes to my personal life. Whether I'm going to a restaurant, they're late on the bill, whether I need someone to come fix something in my house, I'm used to it. But when it comes to my business, I don't want that, because I'm dealing with American clients, Canadian clients, UK clients, Australian clients. They don't want to deal with that stuff, right? So if someone is tardy to an interview, even 1 minute, that is a red flag. Now, the worst case scenario is that they get there on time. The worst case scenario is that you join the meeting and they're already on there. The worst case scenario is at 59 seconds on the hour, they hopped in. That is the worst case scenario. Anything else, you have to ask yourself, what is going to happen when I need them on time on meetings? What is going to happen when I need them to call someone and make a sale today because tomorrow this person is going to be gone and is going to go to another company? What is going to happen when you need someone to complete a project that is due on a specific time? Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a fat fee to the platform because you didn't complete this project. These are things that you have to start thinking about whenever you're dealing with a tardy person. Now, is everybody on time in my company all the time, 24/7, 365? No. But they were all on time for their interviews. And when I said the expectation that they need to be on time on specific timelines, whether it's on a call, which is very important, or a project, also very important, then we're on time. Okay? If someone's tardy to your interview, they're probably going to be tardy to whatever project or call that you have them on. So pay attention to the people who are tardy. If you join the interview before them, that is a red flag. They should be way more excited to talk to you. They are probably more desperate. They want an opportunity. They want to make more money. They want to grow. Whatever the case may be, they should be there for you, whether you're the CEO, you're the manager, the leader of the department, whatever the case may be. Red flag number 3, rambling and not giving direct answers. Let me explain. Whenever I'm interviewing for a closer position or appointment setter, or even an account manager, anyone that is client facing, I need them to be concise with their answers and direct. If you're given a question and it takes you 3 to 4 minutes to just come up with some words and figure out how to say what is properly needed to be said, you're gonna ramble on continuously. Which, by the way, this is a skill. There are a lot of people that like to yap and ramble and talk and it just goes nowhere. It is a skill to learn how to minimize the talk but increase the value of it so that way you don't say so many different things in one sentence. So when I'm interviewing someone, again, specifically for client-facing roles, but this can also be a video editor, a graphic designer, and I'm giving them a question, could be a simple question or even a complex question, and they're taking forever to answer that question. They're rambling and they're just, I can see how they're thinking. They sound like a confused person. They sound like an overly complicated overthinker. And guess what that means? This is probably gonna happen consistently whenever I need a project or a call done, right? Whether they're a salesperson, right? And we all know that sales is more about active listening and responding according to what the person said rather than rambling on, or it's a project that needs to be done. Maybe it's a copyright project, whatever the case may be. They're always going to overanalyze and overthink, which causes confusion later on, over complexity. And the thing is, if you cannot do something simply, if you cannot explain whatever you're doing to a 6-year-old, it is probably going to cause chaos within your company. So whenever you're interviewing someone, especially people that are client facing, you have to make sure that they're giving you concise, direct answers and exactly what you're looking for, because the more direct they are, the more time they're going to save you, the business owner or the manager, and the easier it is going to be to flow on a day-to-day basis with them. Do not hire people who are rambling unless you're willing to train them on how to ramble less, unless you're willing to spend time, and I'm talking about a lot of time sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't take too long, but at times it's going to take a lot of time to train them on how to ramble less. Red flag number 4, half-assing the skill test. So whenever you're interviewing someone, a lot of times what our clients do, and we do this as well, we do a skill test. And this can happen either before the interview or after the interview. I recommend doing 2, one before the interview and one after the interview. But if you're gonna do a skill test at any point, whether it's before or after, you wanna make sure that you can tell this person took their time with the skill test. Does it mean that they spend 16 hours on this? No. But it also means that they didn't just spend 5 minutes on ChatGPT and answered some questions very fast. I wanna see someone's thinking pattern. I want to see how they problem solve. I want to see the execution. I also want to see their attention to detail. This is very important. I have literally, I'm not kidding, not taken interviews or not hired people because their skill test was so beneath what I expected out of them that it disappointed me, because then I'm like, man, if you're going to do this to me, you're probably going to do this to our clients. You're probably going to do this to other people outside of our ecosystem. You're probably not the type of person I want to hire right now. Do I need someone to spend their livelihood on this? Absolutely not. But I need someone that can clearly has attention to detail, is going to take their time doing it, wants to impress me. This is the one time, if you're going to do a skill test, if you're going to do a skill test and you want to impress me, whether I'm the CEO or the manager, the one time you have is not just the interview, is also on your skill test. I should look in your skill test and be so impressed that I'm like, I need to interview this person like right now or later today. I will make time for this person. I need to be excited after I see someone's skill test. And so many people half-ass it. They use ChatGPT. They don't have attention to detail. And guess what happens? You're then giving this person an opportunity when they've slapped you in the face before even working for you. Let that sink in. Literally, take a sink and let it in. Because a lot of people, one, they don't do a skill test at all. That is silly. 2, they don't even do a personality test. Also silly, but not as silly because personality tests, I have my own thoughts on it. We do it, but I don't look into it too much. The personality test is a very easy test to take. Whether you do it, answer 1 through 5, it's easier. But a skill test is something that I've dedicated to create. And I want to see someone, whether they're answering questions, whether they're creating charts, whether they're creating spreadsheets, whatever the role may be, I want to see someone that took their time with it and actually did it the right way. Do not interview people that are not giving you the right time, energy on the skill test. Red flag number 5, this is one of my favorite ones. And it is, if they cannot tell me a reason why I should not hire them. So if you watched my videos before, you know that one of my favorite questions to ask is this, but I frame it very important. So, Mr. Prospect, you have 5 years experience as an appointment setter. You've worked in recruiting. You have a really good resume. You haven't bounced from job to job. You're looking for something that's more than just a recruiter. You want a higher level position. You want to lead. You have a vision that aligns with us. You have a mission that aligns with us. You've done your research. You know our core values. Why should I not hire you? So what I just did is I gave them all the positives, everything that I know about this person, right? Maybe I found out other things on the interview. Maybe I see certain things on the resume. Whatever the case may be, I give him every single thing that he's told me up to date that's positive about him, on why I should hire him. And then I ask him, why should I not hire you? This is such a critical question, guys, because if someone cannot tell you why you should not hire them, it's probably an ego thing because they think that they're perfect, even though they don't want to say it, but they think they're perfect. And I call it out every single time. Now, most of the time, I will never look at this person. There have been times where people were able to recoup from this because everything was so impressive about them that I'm like, I'm willing to take a chance. But so far, I'm 1 for 2. One person I hired has worked out and they didn't answer this question properly. Another person did not work out very fast. Within 2 months, they were out. So you want to ask this question and you want to get feedback from them. This is where shit gets real. Okay, this is where they might tell me about their family. This is where they might tell me they have a pregnant wife. This is where they might tell me they're struggling financially. This is where they might tell me they're moving to a different country. I have gotten some crazy responses from people because they were hiding it the whole time. It's been an audition for a Hollywood movie this whole time. And now it's an interview with Joe Rogan. And what I mean by that is when you're auditioning in Hollywood, you want to do everything perfect. You want to impress them. This is fake. This is not me. I'm a character. But when you go to Joe Rogan's podcast and it's a 3-hour podcast, you cannot be fake for 3 hours. It is very hard, right? Now, obviously this interview is not 3 hours, but this is how you cut out the bullshit and you ask this question. And I like to ask this question usually in the middle of the interview. I don't ask it towards the end. How I frame my interviews is going to be for another time. I'll do a whole video for that. But this is the time where I find out so much about this prospect, and by prospect I mean candidate, when I can make a decision on their ego. There are certain positions and there are certain times where you need an ego. You want to be confident. You want to be, hey, I can get this done. If your ego gets in the way of you being coachable, if your ego gets in the way of us producing, if your ego gets in the way of your growth, I don't want you here. I don't care that you have a Harvard degree. I don't care that you work for the #1 recruiting company in the world. I care that you're going to be a culture fit, and I care that you're going to get results. Those are the 2 things that matter at the end of the day. So guys, look, hiring A players could be a freaking headache. I get it. Trust me. I've been there, done it. And this is why doing all of this takes a lot of time. All these red flags, you don't want to find out about these red flags when you're on an interview. You want to already know if they have these red flags. And this is exactly what we help our clients with. Instead of going through the process himself and putting job ads and just begging for people to, be good, we do all this process for you, present you top 3 to 4 people that are exact matches for your business, both culturally and skillfully, and then you pick the best one. Sometimes people pick more than one, and you hire the person. It is that freaking easy. So if you want to hire A players that can come in to your business and make a difference from day one, head over to RemoteLatinos.com and let us help you find an appointment setter, a closer, disposition manager, transaction coordinator, account manager, video editor, GHL specialist, you name it, we have done it. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with people that would find this valuable, and I'll see you in the next video.